Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers.
No judging.
Yeah.
No judging.
And the millennials are really changing that.
Is charm. No.
All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.
Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers. I'm Justin Fox. I'm joined here by my special guest today, Bahira Abdulsalam. Bahira, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Awesome. So, I mean, we've had a couple I had to reschedule a few last week because of my laptop crashing, but I appreciate your patience in kind of going through and rescheduling. So thank you very much for joining the show. I think everyone's going to be excited to hear what you have to talk about. So let me just give a quick little bio. So you are a certified structural engineer here in Ontario. You are a PhD holder, former engineering college professor. You're a visiting scholar and researcher, founder of CII Solutions and Composites, Infrastructure Innovation Solutions Corp, and SCS Smart Construction Solutions companies that make buildings and structures stronger, more durable, and live longer. And I think it's interesting. You care about human rights, art, politics, and gender diversity. So, Bahira, welcome to the show. So why don't you tell us a little bit about CII Solutions, which you are the CEO and founder of. Tell us a little bit about your journey to what brought you to found, I believe in about 2-3 years ago, found 2018, right? So almost coming up on 3 years. So what inspired you to start your own organization?
If you want to start from the beginning, or
okay. You know what? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So, I mean, obviously you're a structural engineer. So you you went to Western University in London. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your experience and kind of take us all the way back? Originally from Cairo.
So I'd like to start from the very beginning.
Very beginning. Okay.
Why I selected this field. So
okay.
I wanted to be a structural engineer. This was one of my dreams, actually.
Okay.
I wanted to prove that women can succeed in a field which is dominated by males. So.
Okay.
So I selected the structural engineering because it would be very interesting a field to prove that women can be very successful in this area.
Right.
Then this was back in 1990, when I got my bachelor degree. Then I got into the field of composite materials. So it has been like a very long time since I was interested in this area. It is a very interesting area because it is new. It's not very new, but for me at that time it was very exciting to explore the area of composite materials and how we can utilize it in civil infrastructures. So
just not to cut you off, but just for the layman like myself, when you say composite materials, like, give me an example of a composite material.
Well, very simple. It's a material. It's based on glass or carbon.
Okay.
And it composite because it's two parts: resin and fibers. So the fiber can be carbon or glass or aramid or basalt, and the resin is epoxy-based resin, for example. There are different types of resin, and then when they are joined together, they form very strong material, which can reach 10 times stronger than steel. Okay. So we use those materials in different forms for reinforcing structures and buildings and bridges as similar to steel reinforcement,
Right.
or for rehabilitation for the
For
buildings
steel.
to make them stronger.
Interesting.
So
So what it basically can potentially replace steel, or and is it lighter? Is it more durable? Like longer lasting? Like does it have different advantages there as well, or?
well, actually, yes. So the advantages of composites are there are lots of advantages, including durability. So they do not corrode.
Right.
Durability, so they can increase the service lives of buildings.
Right.
And in case this is in the case of new structures. So there are bridges, lots of bridges that have been reinforced using FRP rebars, and rehabilitated also different techniques of composites. So they come into a form of sheet, a very thin sheet, and it can be wrapped around the columns, or it can be used for columns, beams, pipes. So different types of structural elements can be reinforced using those kinds of materials. So I specialized in this area, and I have been involved in fortunately in some of the most successful research groups, and I worked with some of the leading companies, and so I wanted to do something with this knowledge that I have, to transfer it to people, and to have this practical experience, and get in touch with the users of in this end users for those materials, to help them benefit, and also to disseminate the knowledge about this, because not all the engineers are aware of how they can use those materials.
Interesting. So I guess you just maybe that was going to be my next question, but you kind of answered it there. So it's not a common practice, like utilization of composites. Like you mentioned, sort of like rebar, FRP rebar. Sorry, are you saying like replacing sort of existing rebar with a composite material and doing sort of the same concrete pouring using kind of like a composite rebar? Is that an application that they use?
Yeah, like simply you can explain it this way, like we can replace the steel rebar with a composite rebar. However, like technically it is not a completely replacement, because they are completely different materials. They look like the same, however they behave completely differently. So steel is a ductile material, FRP is a brittle material. So they have, we have to follow codes and guidelines that have been developed specifically for those kind of materials, in order to use them in the correct way. So we can use them for structures that are exposed to aggressive environment.
Right.
Sometimes they are the best solution for reinforcing some kind of buildings, like bridge deck slabs. Especially in North America, we have this kind of aggressive environment, and freezing and thawing cycles, and the icing salts. So yes, we actually recommend the use of the material, but we have to be very careful about the selection of the best kind of material, and also the product, also about the design. So so what I'm using, what I'm doing, I am providing consulting engineering, or mainly as a structural engineer. I can design, because I can design structures using those materials, because this is my area of expertise.
Right.
I can recommend the best type of the product that can be used. And also we have like research and development going on. So we have some ideas about new products that we are developing.
Interesting. I guess one question would be cost-wise, is it similar, more expensive, less expensive? Like, I mean, obviously you mentioned more durable, so maybe it's going to last longer. So like why would somebody, if you're sitting down with, somebody who wants to build a structure, what is the idea? What's the proposal to someone like that? Is it more expensive?
Well, like you can look into this problem from, it has to be looked at carefully from different perspectives. So
Right.
if you are thinking of the, you cannot compare the cost of the FRP rebar with the cost of steel rebar, because you will not use the same amount of material because of the difference in the strength and
Right.
the design. However, like the prices of FRP rebars are getting lower because of the increase in the production.
Right.
So in order for companies to increase, to reduce the cost, they are increasing the production of the rebar. So we are getting closer to the prices of steel. But if we compare the total cost, we should consider also the life cycle cost. So we are also saving in the increasing the life of the structure. So we can say that we are adding a lot of value to the building.
Right.
However, we need also to be very careful about the advantages and the disadvantages of materials when we are working with them. So we are not saying that this is like the magical kind of material. So we have to be very cautious also of the limitations that we have to consider when we are using FRP materials in general.
Definitely. Okay, so let's change sort of gears a little bit. I want to kind of get into your thought process. Obviously, you're technically skilled. You've got the experience. Having worked in the industry for many years. I just wonder what inspired you to take the leap from working with others and sort of in other organizations to going out on your own and starting your own venture?
Actually, okay. So I after doing my PhD, I got a postdoctoral fellowship. Through my postdoctoral fellowship, it was an industrial fellowship. So I had to spend part of my time in a company, and it was relatively a small business, and it was specialized in this area. And I learned a lot actually about how small business works. And this gave me a lot of experience to work in this environment. Also, I am regarding my degree and my skill set, so it's hard for me to compete with junior engineers in the job market and to get a job from the beginning. So it is a challenge for every engineer who is very, very highly skilled in the industry. So we have two different ways: either in the academia to be professor and to and the number of professors are very, very limited. It's very competitive market. However, I through my experience about this field, I see it is very, very promising. So there are lots of opportunities and growth in the composite market in general. more specifically in the construction market. I found that it is a very promising opportunity to start my own business in this area. I learned a lot about startups and how they work, and
Right.
I thought that it is a good. I had a lot of encouragement from
Friends and
people.
family. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So people were definitely supportive. So you're 3 years in roughly. Tell us a little bit about your experience, kind of like starting out. So it's good you had that support. Obviously, you had the technical knowledge. You saw the opportunity. Still some people don't take that leap. How was it? Day 1, day 30, day 90. Like what was that journey like? As you were kind of going into that, just from your own experience, like,
So,
is it easy, hard? I don't know. I know the answer for most people, but what was your experience like?
yeah, honestly, yeah, it is not a normal path for someone like me to start an own business.
I don't
It's
think there's a normal person. I think anyone can do it, right? There's no right or wrong path, but yeah.
no, like I know, but the expectations of people around me, I don't think that they saw me in this direction. Like they were
No.
surprised. Yeah,
Okay.
like
So
that
so
is
are you surprised, or are
me.
you, yeah,
No, no.
did you surprise yourself? No.
Me, I actually I regret that I haven't started very long time ago.
Right.
Like yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't actually have this inspiration to start my own business. I was focused on my studies and the
Right.
technical part. And when I started exploring the area of entrepreneurship and business, I found that yes, like I would encourage everybody to to start as
To,
early as possible. You
right.
know, I even wanna like my colleagues, my children. I inspired my children to start like business from very early in their career.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
Interesting. So what was it like that first few months?
Yeah, so at the beginning, actually, it is very challenging. It's very hard.
Right.
And it needs someone who is persistent, like who wants really to succeed, because it is not that easy path. We need like I needed to learn a lot about different aspects of business. Like when you start a small business, you have to do everything by your own until you get some people to partner with or to hire someone to pay them to be working. And I was really lucky to find an opportunity that my company would be a client for an innovation center. So
Okay.
now, yeah, now we are a client for Spark Innovation Center, and they are like an incubator for
Yeah.
small businesses.
Yes.
And I got really very inspired by others who started maybe before me about their own business, and they're very successful. So this encouraged me to continue the path, and being very well known in my field, and because I know what I'm doing, so this
Right.
gave me the opportunity to partner with others who wants to work with me. So I started a partnership in this construction business with an expert in FRP, someone who was working in construction using FRP for a very long time,
Right.
Dr. Muhammad Hamada. I also started getting investors interested in my business and helping or maybe benefiting from the opportunity
Right.
to be in this field.
Right.
So
Tell us a
yeah.
little bit about that. How was that? So obviously finding investors, how did you go about that? Were they basically sort of private equity, private placement type investors, or like high net worth accredited investors? What, did you go to like VC funds, or how did you go about sort of finding the investors, or was it just purely like friends and family kind of thing?
No, actually, it is not. It is not a friend of. It's. You can say it's kind of partnership. Like.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is not really an investor, but someone who is interested to start also in this industry, and they have funds. So we are discussing to work together, so
Sure.
we can like join and. Yeah, and we can I'm starting like giving them information about this industry, and they're very interested as actually.
Interesting. So um I wonder, so C2, right? C2 Solutions.
Yeah, so it is a composite infrastructure innovation solutions. So
So
I infrastructure I yeah, so
so
that's
CII Solutions. I see the logo in behind you there. And yeah, I was looking. I saw it C2, but I did read the. So interesting. So have you, like, obviously 3 years you've been working with clients? Like, what are some of the projects that you've been able to work on over the past couple of years? Like, what are some of the things? Is there anything that we would be familiar with, or maybe drive by and see, or?
Yeah, so okay, so I created a joint venture with a consulting engineering firm in the Middle East. We have been collaborating for a long time actually, and I was involved in many of their projects.
Okay.
So one of the projects is it's a bridge in Qatar that
Okay.
was strengthened using FRP sheets. So the bridge was some, yeah. Sometimes those kinds of projects are really confidential, so we cannot disclose all the details of.
Right.
Because when you are repairing a structure, so there must be a mistake and something wrong happens, so we don't want to share in details what happened, but there was a problem during the construction, and before the opening there was cracking, and using FRP composites, it was the only solution to repair. And I'm working with Dr. Ibrahim Mahfouz. He is one of the leaders in this field, and he presented really a very creative solution. So one of the things I want to let everybody know about it. So it is not only about the material; it is about how to use the material and how.
Design.
Yeah, it's not only the design. Like it is using the different. Like it has some a kind of creativity.
Right.
Yeah,
So you have
so
to, there's a lot to understand about how it all fits together, or how it pieces together.
exactly, yeah. So like we can have a very strong and superior material, but if we use it the wrong way, or if we do not explore the best way to utilize it, we can end up with a very bad solution.
Right. Interesting.
So another another project that we are working on right now is rehabilitation of a pipe in Montreal.
Okay.
So yeah, we are helping one of the contractors to design the system, and the supplier of this material to design this system. There is a project in Quebec. It's a bridge that I was personally involved with in the design and construction. And it is working. It is in service around 10 years ago, and it's reinforced with FRP rebars.
Right.
And actually, the objective of this bridge is to study the durability of this material. So we are planning to test parts of this bridge, or it's to move the bridge into the lab and test it, and
to see after 10 years what the impact has been.
Exactly, yeah. So it will be very interesting information to get.
That's cool. So do you still do some like so the sort of the I guess study of research side? Do you do some of that as well, or is it primarily on the I don't know what you would call it, the research versus the the real world or the applicable world? Like what do you do both still?
No, I'll tell you something. Any company to be successful, it has to include this side of innovation and research development. Because if you are only using what you already have, so what is new? Yeah,
you're gonna get overlooked or passed by.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to. So this is one of the things that I am working on. Exactly.
You're very right. I maybe I missed. You're right. R&D and obviously building on innovation is definitely important for businesses. I was thinking more on when I meant research, I was thinking more on like the sort of educational, purely like research within sort of the university kind of setting versus R&D within a corporation.
Yeah, no, I'm not teaching now. I'm focusing more on my business.
On the business, okay.
Yeah, I worked with a college for a couple of years, but yeah, I only give some courses for engineers, but it is not my main focus. So my main focus is the business side, and I'm working on like the marketing and how to reach to customers and
Are you finding that difficult, or how are you finding that aspect of the business?
Actually, I believe in the power of social media. Like it's a very powerful tool to reach out to customers and to educate people about what you are doing. So this is something which is I have been using, like different social media platforms. I have been in touch with the experts in the marketing area because for sure, like I cannot do everything on my own.
Right.
So
of course,
like the next stage, like I'm planning in the next stage to have experts putting the like marketing plan, and we will be more effective hopefully, like in the coming few
definitely. Well, we should talk about that. I mean, we definitely work with small businesses on all aspects, so we can with our program at Backers, we can support your marketing and different initiatives. So we should definitely connect offline again. Bahira, thank you very much though for joining me. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you're busy. And I've got a couple screaming kids over here. I don't know if you can hear them in the background yelling at each other, but I can't knock at the window. But anyways, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I have one last question. Typically you ask like one word. What would be one word that you would or piece of advice that you would give to yourself, sort of a younger you, if you could go back and give one word? What would that one word be?
Start a business.
Start a business. You said it earlier, right? Start early, start young. There you go. Start early, start young, start now. Get started, right? Yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't waste time. Exactly. Well, Bahira, I really appreciate you joining me today. Let's connect offline and we'll talk. Where can people find you? What's your website actually for Composite? What's the website?
Compositeinfrastructure.com, but we are actually going to launch the website very soon. So so available on Bahira Abdulsalam on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or CI Solutions.
Okay, and where so they can find you on Instagram? Are you using any of the social media? right now? Like as far as like promoting and doing stuff, have you started doing?
I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere? Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. So, and they can obviously find you on LinkedIn. That's how we're connected. So, awesome. Well, Bahira, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today. Awesome. Everyone else, this is One Take powered by backers. Start now. That's the message. Start now. Start today. Don't wait.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Bahira.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Everyone, I'll see you again tomorrow.
Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers. Right?
No judging.
Yeah.
No judging.
And the millennials are really changing that.
Is charm. No.
All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.